Nice view into the mountains ahead. Day 4, part 3, Mae Hong Son Loop. Today, big one over the mountains, Mae Hong Son to Pai. Monks are on their alms rounds. It's 6:40 a.m. I haven't actually eaten yet, so I'm going to head out and see what I can find. I was even awake quite a bit earlier, but I was waiting for the coffee machine at the hotel to get turned on. Noodle shop's open, so we've got noodles, army noodles, with various bits of I don't know what, some sort of balls, crispy stuff. It's hot, it's food, it's what we need. I did hit the triple yesterday, I had curry again last night, so that was curry for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Tauraikan? Asip. Second cup, 50 baht. $50 baht, just over £1, but a big bowl of goodness. That was a fantastic bowl of noodles. Market's open, but with no time for markets, we've got to get into the business of the day. And the business of the day is a lot of climbing. It's about 23, 24 degrees out. It's a little bit misty, but not like the last couple of days. It's already blue skies, so it could be warm. A very different sort of route today. A mere 108 kilometers, sounds easy. And the last 15, 20 are sort of downhill. However, in the first 90k, there's over 2,800 meters of climbing, and that is a lot. And unlike yesterday, it's not sort of rolly up and down, up and down. There's basically two big climbs. Legs, when I woke up I thought, oh, this is going to be a hard day. Once I've ridden a couple of kilometers, you know, it's going to sting on those big climbs. And I remember the second one, it's got some steep bits in. But Pai awaits and all its culinary delights. I did see a few foreigners in Mae Hong Son last night. That was the first I've seen since I left Chiang Mai. Pai, very different story. Farang Central. River still flowing strong, but within its banks. We haven't seen any rain here the last few days, so that's been good, and I suspect today is going to be dry as well. If we get a dry day tomorrow, then we've done well, considering it is still technically rainy season. Thailand being a tropical country, there are basically 3 seasons, so kind of hot, dry and wet. We're coming out of the wet season into the dry season, the nice season for the next few months. Then by February, March, April, it starts to get brutally hot and polluted in the north. Not a good time to be here. Geese in the road. As far as I'm aware, there's no sort of major towns on the ride today. Oh, dog attack. Sketty. Just a bit of barking. Yeah, so I'm sure there'll be places to resupply, but I've got what I can carry, which is 2 bottles of water, and I sort of guzzled about a litre. I've got a pack of emergency sticky rice, and that will have to do. Okay, so there was a sign for Pai and another sign for Phang Mapha, which I don't remember as a town, but I'm guessing that's on the route. So 55k, that should be perfect, sort of halfway before the final huge climb up to 1400 and something meters. So that'll be a good place to stock up and get some more grub and water. I think today is going to be the Queen stage in terms of natural beauty. This valley, for example, growing rice, little stream, very, very pretty. And then we'll get up into the hills at some point. And we got dogs. I thought they were goats. Any doggies? Ooh, 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 ooh. Let the climbing commence. I've had a couple of sort of pre-climbs, little ones, but now we're into a 9k steep one. I've had an hour to warm up, so that definitely helps. This one and then another one fairly quickly, and then the main event won't be until after lunch, but yeah, I think this one's going to be quite long and quite steep. This is more like it. No more of these namby-pamby 8-10% climbs we've had the last few days. Proper Thai climbing. 20% ramps, hairpins, out of the saddle, sweating copiously. Then it eases off, a little bit flat, back up again, 20%, eases off, a little bit downhill, back up again. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Couple of hours in, first climb done, came to a little village, little very basic little shop, can of Schweppes lime soda, couple of packs, mini packs of cookies, that'll keep me going. And then next big climber coming up and then down into Nang Lamtha, what's it called? Nang Lamtha or Lang Namtha, one or the other. We'll find out when we get there. Little countryside gas station, petrol station. Not sure how payment works, maybe you pay in the shop there and just help yourself. Another lovely valley surrounded by these forested limestone escarpments, I'd say. Sort of karst scenery with a K. Ready, Cap? A bit of work going on. Open cap. Up and up and up. Up at the top of that climb, steep one, sweaty one, couple of little bumps to go, and then we'll be into Phang Ma Pa, it's called, and we'll get some sort of lunch there. I might hold off a little bit longer, but we'll see. We'll certainly stop for a snack and a drink, and to fill the water bottles, because I'm nearly out. Like a cup. Pretty. As I feared, Phang Ma Pa is a bit of a one-horse town, so there's not a lot of options here. I have succumbed to the allure of 7-Eleven. My plan is to not eat too much, because there's about 45k to go. It's basically one big climb, about 18k steep. So that's going to be an hour and a half of hard work, and then it's all downhill into Pai, where there's a very good vegan J restaurant. So I'm going to eat a bit, enough to get me over the climb, and then into town, and then I can eat well there. So big bottle of water, fill my water bottles, iced coffee, got me rice, and then I got a couple of snacky things just to see me through the climb, and that should be enough. Are we ready for a little nerdery? A little run round of the bike and gear? If so, normally I'm touring on my gravel bike, the Topstone. So this is Giant TCR, kind of basically a climbing bike. Fake zip wheels, but good fake zip wheels. Otherwise it's fairly stock. This saddle, 3D printed saddle, sort of cheap one from China. Absolutely fine, lightweight, comfortable enough on a one-day climb, not comfortable enough on a several-day ride. I have been suffering in ways I have never suffered before. Anyway, I won't go into details, but that is going as soon as I get back. Tubeless setup, had one issue with the rear tyre, I'll go into that a bit later. Very minimal kit, small frame bag with basically evening clothes in, little handlebar bag, Rhino Walk, cheap, got wash kit and camera in, and then cables and chargers in my little top tube bag. This is my tool kit, standard, and then I just strap my evening shoes to the side of it. Mountain bike pedals, that's all I use over here now, road or mountain. And then I got my Specialized Recon 2.0 shoes, which are very comfortable and very good for walking in. Absolutely perfect touring shoes, love them. I'm in standard sort of lycra kit. I'm not wearing my mountain bike shorts on this one. Got my little mirror, which I love. And who's that? It's Gigi, the cat. Into the main climb now, about 15-16 kilometers, 850 meters of ascent. Starts easy, gets nasty at the top for about 5 or 6 kilometers, and then right at the top it eases off. So it's a toughie, up to about 1400 meters altitude. So it will cool down. It is a little bit hot now. It's like 11:30 in the morning, so we're at 600 meters. So once we get up to 1,000, it'll start cooling off a bit. But going to be a bit sweaty for the first part, and then it's going to sting those legs. Phang Ma Pa, as I continued to ride through, it was a little bit bigger than I'd first thought. I mean, not huge, but you know, nice little market town. This area is known for the cave, so Lod Cave is the big one. So a lot of tourists come over from Pai, and the turning for Lod is in Phang Ma Pa. So I suspect they see quite a few tourists. I haven't seen any. Not many people around, as I've said. I have visited Lod Cave years ago. It's quite an impressive cave. I think I don't remember I didn't do it by bike. I was in Pai, I probably cycled to Pai, and then I rented a scooter, I think, and rode over the mountain to the cave. And then I think you can take a raft through the cave. Quite impressive, definitely worth a day trip. Might do it again sometime. Into the steep bit now. You know it's steep in Thailand when they paint the road red. That's the sign. Steep hairpin. Sun's gone in. Gracias a Dios. And we're over 1,000 meters now, so temperatures, what is the temperature? 28, so that's much more bearable. It was a little bit too hot further down. Yeah, about 3 more K of pain, and then a K&a-half of semi-pain, and then we'll be at the top. We're at the top, yay! Decent viewpoint. Woo. Oh man, I'm cooked. Cooked. Yeah, that's been a tough 4 days. Well, you can see where the road's snaking up the hillside there. That's where we've come from. Lovely climb, superb. And now, a lovely descent. Woo. Yeah, almost 1400 meters altitude, and now we're going to drop down to Pai, which is about 500. So 1000 meter descent should be fun. The road is extremely well paved for now. So, let's gun it. Chiang Mai 160. Little bit chilly out now, sweaty and cold. Road's a little bit wet, so I think there may have been a shower here, meaning I'm going a lot more cautiously. And into the centre of Pai. I have filmed here before. I'm staying in the same place I stayed in that last film that I made about the hard way to Pai, and the way I'm not taking home. I'll drop a link to that in the description just in case anyone missed it. There's a lot that could be said about Pai, but you know, I kind of enjoy it for a night here and there. We're going to find the Chinese restaurant, get some lunch, and then head to our guest house. You can choose rice with 1, 2, 3 or 4 for different prices, and then you just select from all these nice looking vegan dishes. Some sort of curry, some sort of mince type, all vegan, lovely red rice, which I really like, and some sort of vegan cutlet. 60 baht, like £1.30. Down to the river. Over the rickety bridge. And we're about 2 minutes away from tonight's home. A little bit of movement in the bridge. River again flowing strong. At some point they'll build another bridge a bit further down, but it's a little early for that. If you're coming to Pai, I always recommend staying this side of the river, not the town side, and then you get away from the shit show that is Central Pai. Anyway, Pai Modern House. This is where I usually stay, and then a new footpath. We'll be staying in one of these little bungalows. Okay, this is where I'm staying. I was in that room last time. This time I'm in this room, my bike. I've literally just arrived, and then, you know, basic bed, little bathroom, fridge, AC, which I probably won't use. Little balcony, which is very nice, looking out over the fields. 500 baht, £11 for the night. Absolute bargain. Completely away from the madness of Pai Town, which can be quite crazy, I have to say. And here I've slept really well. It's been quiet and peaceful. And now I'm going to rest, bought some fruit, chill out, and then later out I'll go out and see the circus. Out of Pai Modern House. We don't need to cross into town, we can just get out the back way. Day 5, final day. Pai to Chiang Mai. They give you a good breakfast in Modern House as well. I mean, I've just ridden past some sort of much fancier places, and I checked those online, and they're like 5 times the price. But Modern House does it for me. Slept well. Yeah, good breakfast, omelette, fruit, coffee, instant coffee, toast with Nutella and peanut butter. What more can a man need? 120k is it? 127k home, about 2,000 meters of climbing. The difference is most of that climbing is right at the beginning, so you kind of get it over and done with a big 15k climb out of Pai. It's a little bit cool out, 22 degrees. It's often a bit cool and misty in the mornings in Pai, because Pai is a sort of like a depression, a hollow, a valley, and it can get very cold here. The first time I came here, I was freezing. I think it was like 6 or 7 degrees at night, but that was sort of January. And January, if you come in January, bring extra clothes for the evening, because it does get cool. Last night it just rained all evening, so I sat in the market, had a beer or two, ate some local food, pad siu, classic Thai dish, and then went home. A couple of little banana cakes, and that was me done. I was asleep by 9:30. Now it's 8 o'clock. No hurry. It was definitely worth waiting for breakfast. I can be back home in Chiang Mai in 6 hours. And into the main course of the day. 16.3 kilometer climb, pretty steep for the first few K, and then eases off a bit. The good thing is that's pretty much, it's not all the climbing for today, but it's a good proportion of it is done in this first climb. There's a second climb that's a little bit stiff, but nothing too much. A few rollers, and then it's big downhill, very fast downhill into Panklet, where we'll get coffee and cake, and then a flat 50k home. So it kind of feels, psychologically it feels like an easy day, even though it is 2,000 meters of climbing total. Legs, surprisingly, not bad, all things considered. Chiang Mai, 121. Into the steep section now, about 5 or 6k, 15-20% hairpins. Not too much traffic, which is good, because this road can get a little bit busy, mainly with tourist shuttle vans who are a nightmare, drive like idiots. Certainly going to be busier than any of the other roads I've been riding the last few days. Up and around that one. Into the landslides, up above the mist and cloud now. Sun's out. It was getting a bit chilly in the mist, so that's not a bad thing. And the views will open up. Partial road collapse and a landslide at this point. That's a big one. Man, half the cliffs come down here. I do believe they had them open, I'm going to say within 24 hours, certainly within 48 hours of the storms. This was well over a week ago now. I'd heard there'd been a few landslides and a few trees down, but I hadn't pictured anything quite like that. There must have been, I'm going to say, at least 30 and probably more separate landslides in the last few kilometres since the top. They've all been cleared enough to get cars through, but the roads are a bit muddy and wet, so a little bit sketchy, but quite rideable. Now I'm going to stop for a snack. I think I might have filmed this one before. Is sticky rice, kanya, but cooked in a bamboo tube, and it's somewhere along here. I think it's just around the corner. There we go. Bamboo tubes cooking away. So a tube of bamboo, it's got like a little plug in the bottom. You pull that out and then just sort of tear the strips open, and then that just peels open, and then they cook. Very nice. It's cooked with sweetened coconut milk over the fire. Very nice. Cheap snack. 20 baht, 50p. Snack eaten. 3k fast downhill now. That's all the climbing done. Still about 50k home, but a couple of hours on the flat. Should be home in time for late lunch, shall we say. Turning off the main road onto what we call the Prem Road. Now about 40k home, almost entirely flat, a few bumps, but nothing major, so I'll be home in about an hour and a half. So to sum up, the Mae Hong Son Loop. Last did it nearly 7 years ago. To be honest, I don't have a lot of memory of that. My memory is getting worse as I get older, maybe not surprisingly. But some places definitely did remember, and it was lovely to revisit them. That was the first time I'd ever come to Thailand. I'd only been in Thailand like a week, so everything was kind of new. Now I'm a bit more of an old hand, so it's not so new, but it's still fantastic. I love it. Mae Hong Son Loop. If you think you're doing it, just do it. It's great. Is it the best touring in northern Thailand? Yeah, maybe not. But it's convenient. It's a well planned out route. It's used to tourists, so you'll find English menus, people who speak a bit of English. Yeah, highly recommended. Well, that's the Mae Hong Son Loop ticked, second time in 7 years. Maybe I'll do it again in another 7. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the videos. I certainly enjoyed making them. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends. It'd be great to hit 1,000 subscribers. That'll be the big time. And see you all soon on today's ride. Out. And home.